Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruchakwadash, the born us to the elder apostles, great millstone, salutations, and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word, truth, sincerity. And just going to do a quick video on this article about how they're pretty much making the biometric credit cards now, or debit cards. And pretty much what they're doing is they're just conditioning the people, to transition over to the mark of the beast eventually, which is the RFID chip. But through the spirit, I have seen it on the news this morning, so I looked it up, and sure enough, there it is. So if you want, read this, a little bit of it, and then we'll go into the scriptures.
It reads from the top here. Says biometrics meets credit cards. It says from facial recognition software at airports and on phones to voice recognition on smart home devices, biometrics have become part of a consumer's everyday life.
So what they're doing is they're conditioning the people with the biometrics, because soon they're just gonna be like, well, shit, because who knows? Maybe you forget your card. What good is the biometric, card if you forget it or whatever? That's just one of the things they can, make it convenience.
Because that's one of the selling points that they have for that chip, all right, which is a convenience, and you can never forget it at home, all right, which happens a lot with especially with Jake having to get up early in the morning, having to rush for work.
Your wallet. If you lose your wallet, you lose everything in it.
Yep.
With the chip, implanted in you, you could just have it all that information, everything that you carry around in your wallet can be in your on you at all times.
Okay. It says skip down here a little bit to the second paragraph, and it says, and now Visa and MasterCard are adding biometric sensors directly to credit and debit cards.
See, so that's what it is going to be. It's going to be a thumbprint, or you got to use it. You got to have your thumbprint. So it's biometric now. If you don't have that what they call the fingerprint, then the card's not going to be no good. But really, that's all they're doing is really just conditioning the minds. They're doing it step by step. But
because it's a lot. They started doing that fingerprint stuff with phones. All right, getting people conditioned to that. And now they're trying to get it on the credit cards, because now people are gonna be like, oh well, I use the fingerprints on my phone anyway, and
might as well use it on the card too.
Might as well. They already got my information. People always say that. They already got my fingerprint. All right.
And then notice this is on to what buy and sell.
Yep.
Would you use a credit card for you to buy and sell things?
Exactly. And look at this third paragraph: a natural progression, making smooth transactions accessible to people without smartphones.
Well, who the fuck don't have a smartphone today? Maybe an 80-year-old.
And if they don't have cell phones, it's most likely in a third world country. Yeah. And they most likely don't even use credit cards or smartphones transactions like that. Yeah,
so they don't even got the capabilities for 3G and 5G, all that bullshit.
And even if it's here in America, let's just say it's like a homeless person, and they, because that's what Esau is naturally leading to, is the cashless society. All right, and he's trying to do away with all this money. So when you don't have money. It's a lot. When you don't have no more money anymore, all right, what you got to rely on is these new biometric measures to be able to purchase, all right, and anyone that has an ear to hear and to understand, all right, we can see that this is, like it says here, a natural progression towards what? RFID microchip, because it says making smooth transactions accessible, and there's nothing smoother than just swiping your hand across a biometric scanner.
Because what they're going to use it, well, it'll say it in there, but pretty much you don't need no more PIN number, you don't need to sign or whatever. It's just your signature and your PIN pretty much is the biometric, the thumbprint.
Yep. It says making smooth transactions accessible to people without smartphones and increasing security for payment cards. All right, and hey, when you watch these info videos on the internet about these countries like Sweden, and China and these other countries that are pushing that RFID microchip on their people, all right, the testimonial videos that you see of these people who got the chip, all right, all they talk about is how it's so much safer. The security is safer. It's more
easier.
Yeah, it's convenient. All right, you know. And then as we read some of this article, you'll see that that's exactly what this is leading towards. All right, because they're saying real quick, because they're spewing the exact same madness in this article that these people that got the chip are spewing. You know.
And eventually they're just gonna say the hell with the card. You know, that's the next step.
Yep.
Well, forget the hell with the cards. That's useless. You know, let's save on the plastic and save your time. You know.
Hey, well, that's why they got those. You can pay with your phone.
Yep.
You know, but that's a big thing. But not every place has that right now. You know. But you can see how this is all conditioning. Everything that's being done now is being done to condition the people to be like, oh well, you know, I've already have a no card. I have all my cards in my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have, like, in iPhones, they have a thing called Apple Wallet.
Yep.
Where you put all your cards. You can even put gift cards on there.
Even if you don't have an iPhone, they got Samsung Pay. And let's say you don't have a Samsung, well, they have if you download the bank app, you can pay like that. You don't even need the card for the ATM. You just swipe it. You know, put the phone up to the ATM, and it activates. You know, so really the Esau is just conditioning the people. You know, because Esau, you gotta remember, Esau's a sly serpent, man. He knows how to do shit. He's a damn devil. You know, he knows how to deceive. You know, to make it so you don't even know what's going on really, and he just he's pushing that shit out. And he's pretty much telling you what to do, what you're gonna be doing, you know. And in the movies, they show all that shit in the movies, you know, how cashless societies and whatnot.
Says these prototype cards feature embedded fingerprint sensors that capture and match the card holder's print to a digital image stored on the card.
And it's stored onto the chip.
Yeah, because how else can you transmit that this is the correct fingerprint without any type of technology, which is what the RFID technology.
Yeah, the card that it has a magnetic strip, but other than that, it's just plastic, you know, except for that chip. You know?
Yep. It says no need for a signature or a pin.
See?
All right, and it says if a fingerprint can be verified, the card holder still has the option to insert or swipe the card.
See, and that's gonna be the loophole right there. To be like, okay, let's get it rid. All right, so because now it's not working 100%, so let's just do away with all of it and just get a chip in your hand.
Yep, exactly.
Because it's not working all the time, you know, and this and that. So just get the chip.
Yep. It says the fingerprint image is encrypted and stored on the card's chip. Not with them.
Just like all your information will be stored on the chip. When they insert it in you.
Exactly. Not with the merchant. So if the business gets hacked, fingerprint images cannot be reverse engineered by hackers. You know, which is another. Yeah, exactly. That's another selling point for the RFID chip. Can't nobody.
It's impossible for someone to find your card and just use it. You know. Unless you go to, even if you go to McDonald's, I don't know how that, because you know you go through a drive-through, they don't ask for no pin or nothing. You just give them the card.
Well, yeah.
But what they'll do, you know,
they'll bring out the thing to you, just like you do with the app, the phone. Yep. When you're gonna pay through the phone, you go through these drive-throughs. They'll bring out the little scanner, and it'll actually just scan the screen of your phone, and it'll just say payment accepted, which is, you know, wicked as hell.
The scriptures say, you know, they are wiser than children of this world, or paraphrasing, are wiser than Daniel. You know, Esau, and that's, as a matter of fact, that's part of the miracles, you know, that he used to deceive the earth. His technology, man. You imagine that, man. You hear this, even 20 years ago, you wouldn't even think of that. You know, you could pay with your phone.
And you see, this is how Esau is conditioning the people, man. You even see it in the news when you see Esau put on the news, JCPenney's got hacked, and all the credit information got taken from. Well, see, that's all steps to leading towards that chip.
Okay, hey, well, shit. My bank just sent me a new card because it said one of the stores you used it at got hacked, so we send you a new card. I was like, what the hell? I didn't ask for a new card, but I read the letter and that's what it was.
See, so hey, man, this is not far fetched. That this is what the mark of the beast is. All All right.
Get description now.
Okay.
Was that it on that article?
I got one more paragraph. It says, and while security and ease of use are touted by credit card companies, getting the card set up is cumbersome.
Yeah, meaning you have to go through something. Just like the RFID chip, when they implant people, you're gonna have to go somewhere to get it.
Yep.
All right, and then it's gonna be just like this. Watch what it say.
It says, unlike digital wallets stored on smartphones, which we were speaking on, customers using biometric cards must get their fingerprints registered at a bank or a physical kiosk.
See, so man, your banks are probably gonna be giving out the chip.
Yeah, they sell the information. They even sell your information right now. These banks sell out your information to these
credit cards.
To these companies, and they start sending you stuff through the mail, or you might get emails if you registered your email with your bank. You know.
So it would make sense that the bank would be, one of the people giving out the chips.
Kind of. Shit, yeah. Select real quick. A good example of that, of these banks selling off your information. All right, you go back to the financial collapse of the early 2000s. All right, when it happened in 2008, but before that, like 2005, 2003, these banks that were starting to see that the downfall was coming. All right, what they started to do is they most brothers know by now, you know, they were doing this thing called CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, and what it was these banks were selling off the debt that they owned. So basically, if you owed the bank money for a loan or whatever, they would sell they would basically sell all your information. It was like if you went into collections, basically, and they would sell it to another company, so that they could still make money off of your loan. And now another company is using it, and they continue to do what they were doing. But that's the same thing that banks have always done, man. They use your information, they get all your information, and they sell that information.
And they have plenty of information, because when you go for a credit card, you got to give them a lot of information.
Social security, everything. You know, hey, this is all leading towards the chip, man. All right, the RFID microchip. You know, those of you that say that the mark of the beast is sin, you niggas are bugged out.
Yeah, how you gonna buy with sin? That don't make no fucking sense.
God, yeah, that makes no damn sense.
You gotta go fucking shiv the cashier to get to get a basket of fruit.
Yeah, and you see those are the same guys that when you bring that out, they'll come at you with
you guys are rapists.
that the book of Revelations is still sealed.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
But then it's
you know, that's their scapegoat.
Yeah.
They try to say that, well, it's too hard for thee.
Yeah.
It's too hard for thee.
Look at search out not the thing. Yeah, it's too hard for thee.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's what they try to hit you with, because why? They don't have the answers, man. Yeah. And that's what it is, man. Because here at Great Millstone, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we have the 100% truth, man. And we ain't gonna come at you with no scapegoat scripture to try to get out from answering the questions, man.
Beat around the bush.
Yeah. Well, you know, why are you even asking these questions?
Go to Sirach.
Yeah.
We're talking about the chip, and you want to go to the book of Sirach. Is there a scripture in Sirach about the mark of the beast?
You get also these guys who says, you know,
it's philosophies. Christianity.
Yep. Hey, at the end of the day, man, you guys that are false prophets out there, man, your cards are gonna be shown, man. Yeah. Eventually, the Lord is gonna call everybody, flip their cards over, and it's gonna be known who the Lord's prophets really were.
Mm-hmm. And if you wholeheartedly believe that the microchip is not the mark of the beast, then why not get it? Just go and sign up for it. Be the first one to get it in your camp. But that's the hypocrisy of them. But wait, that's how you know through the spirit. A lot of these not a lot of these certain camps are the Pharisees, there's wicked scribes and Pharisees in the reincarnation. Because how should I say? He said the leaven of the Pharisees is hypocrisy. So them guys are finished. But go ahead and finish that off, and then we'll get the.
That was it on that. So let me get this.
Yeah.
This is Revelation.
Just leave that in there.
Okay, this is Revelation.
Damn, I wanted to make a point. It slipped my mind though. Go ahead.
Okay. Revelation chapter 13, and gonna get right to the point. Verse 16. It says, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor."
Hey, everybody got credit cards. Listen
to got the black cards.
Yeah,
rich.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody to live in society, unless you're living in the middle of Zimbabwe, hunting lions, you need some kind of form of payment. And once they do away with cash, all right, the next step is to just implement the chip, because they're gonna, like we're reading here, with the biometric cards, credit cards. That's gonna be the next step. You know, the transitioning phase, so to say. All right, and then they're gonna move to the chip. Because look, that's lucky. I forgot what I was gonna say, but go ahead.
It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yeah, and really, that's because John saw that, you know, when he was seeing the vision, he was seeing how the people were taking it. He was seeing that they were taking it in their hand and in their foreheads, because those are the two spots that produce the most heat. Because what do they do when they check your temperature? They check they'll either grab your hand or they'll touch your forehead. So the BTUs,
the armpit.
Yeah, the armpit kind. But that's the one of the two spots that create the most BTUs. And how is the chip going to be powered? It's going to be powered through your body, the heat.
Yep.
You know, because it has the coil inside of the chip, which it works pretty much like an alternator, and the power supply will be your body, the BTUs. The British Thermal Unit. Look it up.
And there where it says free and bond, you know, obviously people out here in the and that are free out in the world, they're going to be getting the chip. But also people in the prisons, man. All right, and something that one reason why I could see them implementing the chip to people that are incarcerated is the commissary. All right, because you have in these prisons, you have basically a commissary store. And what Jake does is you go up in there and you get a bunch of, you know, you basically just buy the food and they just take it off your account. But now they can just do away with all those computers and your program, because now all your people have to do is just upload money onto the online and it'll get automatically put onto the chip in your hand. So then when you go to the store, that way no one can steal your money from your account. They can't go up there and try to impersonate you or have your ID or anything like that to try to take your money. You know, now you can just go up there and swipe your hand and you're more secure. You know, unless they come, you know, niggas come down on you and then you gotta
chop your hand off.
Or they force you to go in there and play. That's a different story, but you know,
niggas are still niggas.
Exactly. Jake always figure a way out around something. But you know, those are reasons why even when you're locked up, incarcerated, another reason for tracking.
Yeah, exactly. Even well, that shit. Look what they're doing. Who are the ones taking the chips right now? It's for companies at their jobs. Because when I back a couple of years, 5 years ago, when I worked at FedEx, we had an ID that you used to clock in and clock out. You had to swipe it, you know, like we used to do with the credit cards. But to go through, because you had to go through security and there was a gate. And to go through the gate, you had to just tap a certain little thing and it would open the door, you know, unlock it. But you wouldn't have to swipe it, and then because they had the RFID chip in it. And so ultimately, what they're gonna say, look, you got to take the chip if you want to continue to work here. So it's a lot more simple. You just, you know, the guard pats you down, you swipe your hand, go through the door, and then go to the clocking machine and swipe your hand. It's simple as that. There's no downtime. You're not losing minutes. You know.
Same things in the prisons, man. You know, while I was locked up back in the world, you know, one thing that I remember Esau would always get on Jake for was being in a cell that you weren't supposed to be in. So, hey, you get a chip in your hand, all right? If you ain't supposed to, the chip would only allow you to get into your cell, you know? Or if...
And they can track, they'll be able to track you, know where you at. Anyway.
Exactly. Or if you work for the I forgot exactly what it's called, it's been a while, but the people the trustees. The trustees, there you go. The trustees, all right, they have access to certain places throughout the prison. It's allowed. The chip will help better regulate that.
Because they can just program it. All right, well, this guy got access.
He can only open this door.
And that guy don't have access here. You know, it's easy.
That way the police don't have to come in the mornings to wake you up. That way you wake up yourself, and no police even has to come and open the door, because the inmate is his chip is programmed to be able to open this door at such time. So he just goes up, scans his hand on the door, it opens up the door to the pod, and he goes to work. You know. So, hey, man, everything is leading towards this RFID microchip, man.
And it's so plain and evident.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's everywhere. Literally. It's on your phone. It's in your wallet. It's in your cars. It's in your damn television. It's in tires. The Formula cars, the racing cars.
Yep.
The fucking tires got RFID chips, man. So what? So they can track them and you know, look at the parameters and all that shit. So what makes you think that? Because that's ultimately what Esau wants to do. He wants to get that in Thessalonians. I think it's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 or 1 or 2 or maybe 4. But it says you know what I'm talking about. He sets himself as the Most High. He wants to be as the Most High.
Okay.
Because that ultimately that's what Esau wants to do. He just wants to you know, just play that God. You know, play God. He wants to know everything. What you did today. What you ate. What's your heart beating per minute. You know, he wants to know everything, man. He wants to. And then you know how they have they right now they use off of biometrics like the iris and all that to track people when they come in and out of certain stores. Well, what when you were chipped, it's gonna be super easy. All they gotta do as soon as you walk through the door, it's gonna be something that scans you. You know. And everybody, it'll be instant. Just like the reason they're doing RFID tags on products is it's easier to keep track of them, better management, you know. And there's no okay, well, we don't know how much the inventory has. It's easy because the RFID system is helping him out, and that's what Esau wants to do because he looks at the people as chattel, right? Collateral, you know, just property.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to start at 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High."
Yeah, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to be the, like that's why a lot of Edomites, I'll say a lot of them, not all of them, are atheists, man. Because they really don't believe in the Heavenly Father. They think that's why they created evolution and all that, because they want to be the supreme power. You know, they want everybody to look at them, okay, as the know-it-all, so to say. Because and that's why he's trying to set up that new world order, which is not gonna be established anyway. But that's his whole agenda, just to rule the world from his couch, you know.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what the whole purpose of the chip is. All right, because what the Lord knows where you're at. The Lord knows what you do. The Lord knows what you. I clean that boat over there. Yeah. You know, the Lord knows everything that you do. And so here it is with the chip. Esau can see where you at, what you're doing. They got condoms that can count how many strokes you got. You know, they got the chip. They can purchase, they can track what you buy, what you sell, to further advertise to you what you want.
What kind of drugs you're taking.
Yep, everything.
If you're taking your meds.
Yep. So Esau is there ain't no way getting around that Esau is a so-called white man. Yeah. All right? There's no way around that.
That wicked one.
Yep. All right. So back in Revelation 13, 16, it says, "Free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the name of his or the number of his name."
Yeah, and that word mark goes back to charagma, meaning really a pale or a stake. And then what do you do with a pale and a stake? You insert it into the ground, man. And that's how they're gonna insert that chip in you. Do that mark, that incision.
Yep.
And it literally looks like a stake, a pale, the syringe. Okay.
Says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666."
Yeah, shy stigma. Yep. God, that goes, because it's not really, you know, we say, you know, 666, but really that's shy stigma in the Greek when it was originally written. Oh, well, you know, translated to the Greek, shy stigma, you know, and it's clear and evident what that is, man. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what Esau's doing. And the way he's conditioning the minds, what he's doing, how he's doing with these credit cards. Oh, that's spirit. They brought it back. We were talking about the credit cards. Well, and how there's going to be a cashless society. Well, the world central banks have already come out and said, look, we're trying to transition over to a cashless society, or cashless. We're trying to go cashless. And this is the world central banks. They're the ones that giving you the money. So if they're saying, look, we done with paper, paperbacks, then what the hell do you think is coming? How are you going to buy and sell? With Christianity, you're going to go to the dollar store and tell them you're a Christian? And you're going to walk out the store? Come on, man. It's a currency. This is talking about a currency, man. And that's why John mentioned the buying and selling, because that's the main point. That's the main thing they're going to use to get to push it. And that's going to be the main use, really. But really, it's going to have so much more, what's the word? Uses, so to say, than just buying and selling. It's really that's a one-way ticket, or that's a front row ticket, VIP ticket to those missiles, as Revelation 14 says. Matter of fact, get that. Or you had something?
No, I was just. What was it? Revelation what?
Yeah, Revelation 14 and like 9.
Okay, yeah. It's Revelation 14 and verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark.
See, so ultimately you receive that mark, you worship the beast, which is the Esau system.
Yeah, because that's all. At the end of the day, that's what that's the meaning of you getting the chip. Meaning you want to be, you're giving up your allegiance to Esau.
Kind of just like in the Old Testament, when you had an Israelite servant and he wanted to stay with you, what would you do? You would give him the oil, which would pierce his ear, and that would be the mark saying that's your servant now. So that's what Esau's gonna do. He wants to give you that mark to brand you, just like they do livestock. Because that's all you are to Esau. You're just livestock, man. Mm-hmm. You're little hamsters turning the wheel for him. Go ahead.
It says, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, there it is. You're going to be burnt to a crisp, because if the Lord allows you to get that chip, then he wants you for the missiles, man.
Yeah. And you're going to be burnt in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm. And while they applaud, while you're screaming, the elect is going to be applauding and rejoicing, But that was it. That was it on that, right? Mm-hmm. You got anything else in it? All right, but with that, we're going to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutation, much love to Yakim out there pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.